harvesting, reaping, hunter-gathering, connoisseurs of self-preservation and nepotism. The idea of the Candyman can be found in ancient She-Olmec symbolism and some of the various global Aboriginal mythologies. Primary checkpoint of this mythos is the chief or ruler who reaps in the indigenous ecosystem, and the one who perfects the bloodline. Keep in mind, as we reviewed in the Tribe of Shaba's presentation, the Aboriginal nations in bioessential metaphysics is the sap of the magnetic field tree, cream of the earth, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught. In this mythos, this sap cream is of course the honey, referencing alchemy. The Candyman figure in Mesoamerica was known as Mak-Chi, the beekeeper, whom also was a death personification. Among the Tamaraean Egyptians, this figure is the chief of Osiris, who apportions the bread and herbs of Ma'at. Checkpoint for further clarity. The Aboriginal human body is a projection of the vital essence which vibrates within our melanin, called Hamma Masnoon by the West African Muslims. Studying this personified projection indeed covers many topics and discussions. However, a psychospiritual analysis is much needed. The Aboriginal man is nature's harvester. This phenomenon became apparent after the Great Cataclysm, the deportation of our moon. After this event took place, which changed the genetic structure of what became the earth-bound Aboriginal people, lineal self-preservation developed as a reality of our indigenous civilizations or cultures. Pre-cataclysmic Earth remained within the genetic memory of the American autochtons, while the practice of ritualized mating or preservation of lineage was for the sole purpose of transitioning their genetics back into its initial bioluminescent form. The star and crescent represented the marking of the Great Cataclysm, and the star symbol finds its roots in Mesoamerica as the goddess Ixchel. We now know, through a close examination of the rising and falling of civilization, the Moors or West African Muslims became the global custodians of this symbol and saga, with the indigenous Muslim referring to this science as Abufihamat or Abufihamat, later known as Baphomet, meaning the wisdom of Hamet, black fertile soil. These are the ancient sciences passed down to Muhammad, the personage of the black fertile soil. It must be emphasized here that after the Greco-Romans infiltrated the Punic systems of northern Alkebulan, so-called Africa, these invaders used the goat-headed Pan idol as an image for Baphomet. This Pan deity, of course we know, is not of the earth's Aboriginal people. The focal point is the Star of Baphomet, which is of Aboriginal origin, and was also used by the indigenous Muslims of Yashar Allah, Israel. Baphometic star is in fact another marking of the Great Cataclysm that gave us our current ecosystem. As their ancient ancestors did, these custodians preserve this information of the perfecting of bloodlines, as well as the greatest astronomical knowledge on Earth. This Reaper mythos we find in the lineal science of Njala, being associated with the harvesting sickle or scythe, keeping in mind that the folkloric Grim Reaper is known as the angel of death, whereas the term angel derives from Najala, specifically its variant Anjal. Again, more references to the divine genetic ancestry of the Aboriginal man, finding its beginnings with Kukulkan of ancient America. Rajul, conceptually, the radius, which is the true paternal Aboriginal Earth haplogroup. Again, another reality that gave rise to the concept of the star seeds, which is none other than the Aboriginal humans who are melanin abundant. The Aboriginal man is nature's true harvester, whose spirit, genetics, takes the role as the rod, staff, or sickle, or scythe. This is prehistoric occult knowledge and its relevance with the correlations in nature of our Aboriginal paradigm, which has psycho-spiritually proven to be a threat to Eurasian recessive supremacy. In closing, the honeybees that surround the body of the Candyman figure in indigenous metaphysics is the biological dynamics of the Aboriginal genetics and its universal dominance, even if under genocidal attack. His name, mentioned 5 times, is merely just a zikr or mantra, with number 5 being consistent with the 5-pointed star, signaling spiritual mastery.